Imagine standing on a grassy plain 12,000 years ago. A woolly mammoth stampede barrels toward you, herded by hunters with torches and spears. The beast crashes into a hidden pit as razor-sharp obsidian arrows rain down. This wasn't hunting. This was industrialized slaughter. Forget nukes. Stone Age humans invented weapons of mass destruction, brutally efficient tools that reshaped continents. We picture Stone Age weapons as crude tools, but these were biological weapons of mass destruction. Take the Clovis point, a spear tip carved from volcanic glass. When it hit a mammoth's flank, it shattered on impact, scattering glass shrapnel through organs. The beast bled out over miles, poisoning water sources, drawing predators. One strike became an ecological chain reaction. This was toxic warfare. We've found these points from Arizona to Argentina, the footprint of humanity's first arms race. But trauma wasn't just physical. Imagine you're a giant ground sloth. Human voices echo through the canyon, everywhere. Torches flare in the dusk, herding your herd toward a ravine. Stone Age hunters weaponized fear. Serrated bone daggers left grotesque wounds to demoralize. Rhythmic drumming disoriented prey. Fire created panic stampedes. At Montana bison jump sites, 80% of kills were juveniles or elderly. Why? Scattering the weak fractured the herd's survival structure. This was systemic collapse, which reveals the chilling truth about scale. At Utah's Danger Cave, archaeologists found 300 mammoth bones in a single pit trap. Not centuries of hunting, one coordinated ambush. This was military logistics. Tribes used geography like a chessboard. Grass fires steered entire herds toward swamps or cliffs. In Australia, 50,000 years ago, these tactics erased 23 megafauna species. That's not overhunting, that's terraforming with spears. The Clovis culture didn't just hunt mammoths, they engineered their extinction. The weapon wasn't the spear. It was the plan beat humanity's first force multiplier. The atlatl, just a stick with a hook. No, this was the railgun of 15,000 BC. Physics made it terrifying. By extending the thrower's arm, it doubled spear velocity. A 100 miles per hour projectile hitting a horse's ribs exploded organs. Archaeologists found bison bones with 6-inch deep impact craters. The real genius. Range hunters rained death from 200 yards away, outside a mammoth's charge radius. At Peru's Quebrada Jague, they slaughtered sea lions from cliffs above. No bravery needed, just cold, calculated annihilation. Yet even this paled against humanity's oldest WMD. Fire wasn't for warmth, it was a scalpel reshaping continents. Aboriginal Australians called it firestick farming. Quaint. Imagine walls of flame 30 feet high, herding 10,000 diprotodons. Wombats, the size of rhinos, toured swamps. They burned strategic patches in dry seasons. New grass lured grazers into next year's kill zones. Charcoal layers in Australian soil prove it. Megafires spiked exactly as megafauna vanished. In North America, Clovis hunters burned entire valleys to trap mastodons against glaciers. The aftermath: ecological dominoes. Invasive grasses replaced native plants. Predators starved. Landscapes turned to dust. This wasn't hunting. This was terraforming with torches. But for true industrial-scale killing, nothing beat don't forget single traps. Stone Age engineers built kill grids. Ote, Uruguay y ese Arroyo del Vizcaíno. 30-ton glyptodons, armored tanks with claws, were lured into 15-foot deep camouflaged pits. They exploited migration paths for generations. In Michigan, caribou hunters built 2-mile stone fences funneling herds into lakes where spearmen waited in canoes. Efficiency. France's Saluta site contains bones from 100,000 slaughtered horses. The math is brutal. One pit trap took 10 people 3 days to dig. It could kill 20 bison in minutes. That's 1,900% return on labor. This wasn't warfare. This was mass production of extinction. Forget David and Goliath. This was math versus muscle. A mammoth weighed 8 tons. A Clovis spearhead. 4 ounces. How did humans win? The equation was simple. Ambush plus blood loss plus time equals 0 risk domination. A single spear strike to the gut meant death in 48 hours. Hunters tracked the bleeding beast for miles, striking only when it collapsed. At Colorado's Dent site, one mammoth kill fed a tribe for months with just 8 spear wounds. Efficiency, 1.5 million calories harvested for 3 days of tracking labor. Ancient nukes couldn't match that energy return. Why fight strength when infection and exhaustion fought for you? But the true secret weapon wasn't in their hands. Think Stone Age warfare was silent. Wrong, they weaponized sound. At Wyoming's Vor Buffalo Jump, bison bones pile 30 feet deep beneath cliffs. How tribes used gourd rattles and hide drums too. Mimic thunderstorms, triggering stampedes to ward drops. Fire created blinding smoke screens. Torch flares exploited praise night blindness. Even terrain was a weapon. Herds stampeded into leaf disguised. Sinkholes or icy ponds where mammoths wait became their doom. Siberia's woolly rhino remains show. Spiral fractures, bones shattered by thrashing in mud pits. This wasn't combat. This was applied psychology. Break the mind, the body follows. The final piece. Turning extinction into an industry. When humans reached Australia 65,000 years ago, 23 megafauna species existed. Within 5,000 years, all gone. Not climate change, systematic hunting grids. Sites like Cuddy Springs reveal slaughter floors, tools and bones stacked in layers showing generational kills. This created a feedback loop. Kill mega herbivores, gives overgrazing stops, gives forests explode, gives more fuel for fire warfare. Eliminate apex predators, gives prey populations, boom, gives easier ambush targets. By 10,000 BC, humans wiped out 178 large mammal species. The Americas lost 80% of megafauna within 1,000 years of human arrival. The weapon wasn't the spear, it was the system. Simple tools plus coordinated terror plus ecological sabotage equals humanity's first mass extinction. Our ancestors conquered this planet not with brawn, with ruthless calculus. We stand here today because 12,000 years ago, our ancestors turned hunting into a machine. They reshaped continents with fire and bone. They engineered extinctions with pits and panic. These weren't crude tools. They were the original weapons of mass destruction. Simple, scalable, savagely efficient. When someone calls Stone Age tech primitive, remember, they wrote domination's playbook. The only thing that changed is our rubble scale. What shocked you most? The math, the terror tactics. Tell me below, if brutal ingenuity fascinates you, smash that like button. It tells the algorithm you crave real history. Subscribe and hit the bell. Next week, we expose the Bronze Age arms race, where metal swords sparked wars, making Game of Thrones look tame. Stay curious, stay ruthless.